morning, everyone. Let me first quickly introduce myself. I am the moderator for today's seminar session. On behalf of the organizer, I would like to welcome all of you to our Insights Humanizing Innovation session with industry. Thank you for sparing us your time to be with us now. Let me talk about the today's topic for our today's humanizing session. Or given the uncertainties faced by the restaurant industry during and also specifically post-pandemic period, I would like to say that innovation is a key. So our today's topic is innovation resilience and managing uncertainties in the quick service restaurant industry. And we have our external speaker, Dr. Darian Low, and we have our internal speaker, Dr. Yuen. Let me introduce our speakers first. I'm the moderator of this Humanizing Innovation session. Dr. Tarikul is a senior lecturer of banking and finance and teaches both undergraduate and postgraduate at the Faculty of Business at Multimedia University. He received his MBA in finance and PhD in the area of behavioral finance from Multimedia University, Malaysia. His recent research focuses on P2P lending, crowdfunding, robo-advisor, digital finance, AI in banking, behavioral finance, and experimental finance. And our external speaker for today's session is Dr. Darian Low. Let me introduce Dr. Darian to you. Dr. Darian Low is a self-made entrepreneur. He's the Subway Malaysia FAF advisory board member and personally owned 8 Subway restaurants across the historical city of Malacca. He is one of the Malaysia Franchise Awards finalists under the category of Emerging International Franchise of the Year in 2016. Dr. Darian also served as an industrial advisor for the MMU Faculty of Business since 2021. He held various senior management positions in the multinational corporation prior venturing into the business world. Dr. Darian earned his PhD from Asia University, where he was the recipient of the My Brain 15 My PhD scholarship awarded by the Ministry of Education, Malaysia, an MBA from University of the Sunshine Coast, Australia, and a Bachelor of Communication from University Sains, Malaysia. And then let me introduce our internal speaker, Dr. Yuen. Dr. Yuen is a senior lecturer from the Faculty of Business, Multimedia University. He graduated with a Business Information System degree. He is an active researcher in the areas of disability management, knowledge management, and information system. His research mainly focuses on studying disability employment, knowledge transfers, and information system acceptance between developed and developing countries. Welcome everyone for today's Humanizing Innovation session again. And I would like to welcome our first external speaker, Dr. Darian Low, to share his knowledge on the topic of innovation resilience and managing uncertainties in the quick service restaurant industry in Malaysia. Dr. Darian, over to you.
All right, thank you for your kind introduction, Dr. Tarikul, and very good morning to you and Dr. Peter Yuen and the audience. I would like to take this opportunity to thank MMU FOB for inviting me to this webinar. Today I'll be sharing on, let me share my slides. Okay, today I'll be sharing on innovation resilience and managing uncertainties in the QSR industry or quick service restaurant. First and foremost, allow me to give general overview of this topic. It might be sounded academically, but the following couple of slides, we will look at the practical application of it. The concept of resilience has different interpretations and definition in the literature. In the generally accepted sense, resilience is an attribute that expresses both the ability to overcome inconveniences and uncertainties and the ability to recover from an unpleasant experience. Resilience is based on three dimensions, namely the ability to prevent negative consequences, the ability to prevent the worsening of negative consequences, and the ability to recover from the negative consequences. So there is three keywords here, which is prevention of worsening, and recovery. Okay, what uncertainties means? For this sharing, I'll be sharing specifically on the current global challenges faced by the QSR industry, which is COVID-19. QSR stands for Quick Service Restaurant. This is the industry term for the segment. Though they are commonly known as fast food restaurant, QSR are the most common type of restaurant due to the popularity of brands like McDonald's, Subway, KFC, Pizza Hut, and etc. QSR are classified by the functionality of the concepts. Menus are typically limited with the focus of being on burgers, chickens, or even sandwiches. The interior designs are simple, with a counter at which customer can order and pick up their food. Many QSRs have drive-through, as the focus of fast carry-out is a large part of the quick service model. Okay, innovation. What are the examples of innovation? Innovation not necessarily related with technology. It can be process flow, workflow, talent development, talent acquisition, and etc. However, most of the time, generally we relate innovation with technology. A number of innovation could have significant importance and a major impact on the restaurant industry, in particularly contributing to its support in the future. Several mutually sustaining types of resilient innovations have been identified. The first is social innovation. Social innovations is a set of action for design and implementations of new solutions that involve extensive conceptual, procedural, and organizational changes, which are indeed, on the one hand, to improve the well-being of individuals and the community, and on the other hand, to lead the reorganization of work, to reduce the excess of work, and to increase the safety of workers. Number two, business innovation. Business innovation strategies represents the commitment of the staff to a common innovation mission and to a set of activities meant to compete in the development of organization in the future. Rethinking of product offering, mainly by simplifying the menu list, focusing on preparation that can be sold in the delivery system, reducing portions, purchasing smaller quantities of raw materials, and reconsidering stock management, sales at reduced prices, or donation of unsold preparations to various institutions, companies, or employees. Introduction into production of semi-finished products that can be marketed through the catering system. Identification, simple ways to support the identity of a restaurant through personalized takeaway packaging. The third is technology innovation. The introduction of additional action for the development of new products and or processes, as well as significant improvements in the characteristics of the current technology in a different way from the one practiced so far. The implementation of product innovations involves radical innovations that aim to create new products with different designs, components, and manufacturing methods, and incremental innovations aim to improve the characteristics of the existing products. On the other hand, process innovations involve the implementation of new or significantly improved productions and delivery methods. In the case of a restaurant's production methods involve techniques, equipment, software, while delivery methods refer to supply systems, inventory systems, and the means of delivery of prepared food. Last, financial innovations. The modern economy cannot exist without financial innovations, which is the act of creating new financial instruments, of designing distinct financial technologies, of preparing institutions and market that did not exist before. Financial innovations is a complex process that involves the creation and development new services and financial or investment process commitment with the changing needs of people and organization. Okay, today I'll be sharing on the impact of the COVID-19 on the QSR industry and innovating to survive and prosper. We do not innovate to survive, but also to prosper. Okay, let's take a look at the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on the QSR industry. The recent COVID-19 pandemic outbreak has damaged the economy worldwide. In particular, the restaurant sector has been sharply affected by COVID-19, which has raised revolutionary trials to tackle. In many countries, most economic sectors are suffering from the effect of the COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic has impeded global investment, consumptions, and trade, shrinking the international aggregate demand. The fast food industry is no exception, as quarantine has affected household consumption. Those people who enjoy dining in restaurants before the outbreak have to ensure their safety by staying at home. Customers' attitude to visit restaurants have significantly reduced due to the fear of being exposed to the potential COVID-19 risk. Similarly, restaurants operators and employees have been demonstrated to be prone to contracting the virus, and their willingness to go to work has been considerably reduced. Meanwhile, the COVID-19 impacts have made people pessimistic about their finances and job opportunities in the future. Many of them are worried about the future as they fear losing their job or contracting the virus. As a result, these concerns have impacted their consuming patterns because they have started to save more. Consequently, consumers' confidence is gradually declining, resulting in a reduced number of customers. Although the World Health Organization has declared that food is not a means of COVID-19 transmission, the operation undertaken during the restaurant supply chain have been considered hazardous due to the numerous interaction among the actors involved in the supply chain. As a result, a lot of restrictive measures such as constraining and opening hours and cutting of seats capabilities have been implemented worldwide. The rapid spread of virus led to restaurant restrictions with consequent reduction in turnover, job loss, and in some cases, permanent closure of commercial activities. If you look at the slides over there on the right-hand side, speaks about the negativity, speaks about fear of losing job, fear of dining in, and so on and so forth. Whereby on the left-hand side, it speaks about positivity. In the midst of difficulty lies opportunity. How do we create this opportunity? It is through innovation. Innovation is the ability to see changes as an opportunity, not a threat. The significant change in customers' behavioral intention is the opportunity. To overcome this crisis, restaurant operators has to demonstrate resilience, innovations, and strategic management. Okay, let's take a look at this. The significant change in customers' behavioral intention is the opportunity. Okay, what happens is that customers are ordering online. Fast food outlet in-person visit have dropped, but online orders and delivery requests in countries like Malaysia are booming. Although the orders have increased, the delivery versus carry-out option is reasonably consistent. However, people are traveling short distance to go to restaurants to pick up their orders. Ordering times have also changed. Although fast food establishments are receiving more orders, these orders come at different times. Initially, people used to order more over the weekends. However, these days, people order more during weekdays because the new normal is gradually making the weekend notions lose its meaning. Takeaway orders have become common over the weekends, while online order occur during weekdays. Besides, lunch orders have increased. New customers purchase more. While in quarantine, people are using the opportunity to discover and try new restaurants. They are purchasing delivery or takeaway orders from fast food outlets that initially were not part of their frequent rotations. These new clients place orders more than average and go for high-value items. Internationally, new clients are more likely to purchase from a new eatery on weekends than on weekdays. Reasons to visit restaurants. Before the outbreak, people used to visit restaurants to enjoy a good dining experience, meet with friends, have a good family time, and many more. However, Today, these motives have changed. With the social distancing measures in place, individuals visit fast food outlets in person to pick up their online orders or takeaway. As a result, customers opt to look for options with shorter waiting period and less crowded places within their neighborhoods. Consequently, foot traffic to fast food eateries has dramatically reduced since the onset of lockdown and quarantine measures. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, in the middle of every difficulties lies opportunity. The change in the consumer's behavior is the opportunity with the interference of innovation. And innovation is the ability to see change as an opportunity, not a threat. I could relate these quotes with my personal experience in managing my very own restaurant. My number of restaurants grew from 3 before COVID and to 8 at the moment and 10 next year. Innovation is the key. Okay, I will not make it by sitting down and waiting for customers to walk in. Delivery keeps us alive during these challenging moments. Social innovation keeps us alive. Business strategy technology keeps us alive. Technological and financial innovation keeps us alive. Remember these quotes. I have these quotes in my WhatsApp profile for the last 3 years, ever since COVID-19 started. In the middle of every difficulties lies opportunity. Okay, in this perspective, innovation to enhance traditional restaurant services and create new service opportunities has emerged as the only way of coping with these critical issues. Although innovations has always been considered as a strategic factor for competitiveness, the pandemic has posed an imperative to innovate in the QSR industry in order to ensure the organization's survival and resilience. This imposed innovation has been expected to reduce negative implications by sparking a change of thinking and exciting business opportunities never considered before. Why I call it impose? Because restaurant operators do not have any other options but to innovate their services. We innovate not to survive, but to prosper. Okay, numerous research and studies has been done with regards to the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on the QSR industry. Generally, the result shows that fast food industry sustained operation and they adopted digitalization technologies. Digital technologies have influenced fast food restaurant strategies during the COVID-19 pandemic. While technology may enable digital transformations, fast food restaurants are rapid to match the changes. Digitalization opens new possibilities for fast food restaurants to sustain their business. With digital infrastructure in place like mobile device, Wi-Fi networks, and online payment systems, it brings convenience to both business and customers. Deepening digitalization has helped fast food restaurants to become more customer-centric. For this presentation, I'll be sharing on the 4 highly impacted humanizing technology innovation, which has changed the landscape of the QSR industry, which is online food delivery and food delivery applications, contactless payment, self-ordering kiosks, and mobile order ahead or queuing system. In this light, the adoption of digital technologies have been used as a service innovation tools to implement risk reduction strategies. Through these tools, digital technologies is expected to reduce guest and workers' interactions. The pandemic has fostered service innovation dynamics using digital technologies as an instrument for organizational survival and resilience. In this imposed service innovation, digital technologies have supported the restaurant sector in creating new business models and services to survive. QSR industry have started to use digital technologies to implement risk reduction strategy. A risk reduction strategy is a process that attempts to decrease the perceived risk of purchasing a product or service. Therefore, a level of perceived risk higher than the acceptable levels lead customers to adopt a risk reduction strategy in the decision making. Accordingly, digital technologies can reduce interaction between customers and employees, transforming the restaurant sector from traditional high-touch and low-tech services experience into low-touch and high-tech service experiences. Online food delivery and food delivery application. In this pandemic context, it is fundamental to build an active resilience within the restaurant sector, and the development of the delivery segment is an essential component of this approach. The online delivery business has emerged as a relevant channel to reach customers and to provide them with higher quality services in these times, and is playing a major role in sustaining business. The main advantage of this type of service is that besides simplifying the order process for both the customers and the restaurant in times of social distancing, it offers restaurants alternative income, retain customers, and enhances customers' experience by providing new delivery channels. Some restaurants are altering their business models by implementing rapid innovations in order to confront the changes and challenges of the coronavirus pandemic and to match the demand of the unprecedented scenario. Among the wide range of types of innovation, restaurants are changing their online food delivery offerings by improving products presentation and by providing new services and or products. Online food delivery services grant customers easy and effective access to food from a wide range of restaurants at different times and various locations. Moreover, it provides customers with more comprehensive, up-to-date, and accurate information regarding restaurants, menu options, customers' prior experience through online reviews and online rating, or even monitors their orders and the progress of those orders. The availability of online delivery service technology enables the restaurants industry to improve order accuracy, increase productivity, enhance customer relationships, and expand their market. Thus, online or mobile order are the element of differentiations, while also ensuring the certainty of orders placed. Delivery services companies like Foodpanda, GrabFood, which happened to be the initial food delivery company to penetrate the viable Malaysian market. Other thriving food delivery companies such as Delivery Eat, Uber Eat, Honestbee, Running Man, Easy, and Damakan are all steadily becoming household names as well. The implementations of mobile applications in restaurants has contributed to increasing potential revenues and numbers and customer numbers, offering restaurants management multiple possibilities such as location-based deal, personalized offers to customers, loyalty and referral programs. Downloading the restaurant's applications is exchange for exclusive offers and agreements and loyalty promotions for friends and family. By allocating points or credits increase among millennials. Okay, let's take a look at some of the statistics. The statistics is taken from Food Trend Report 2020 and 2021. This is based on the research conducted by Nielsen's IQ and includes interviews with food industry professionals, restaurant operators, consumer surveys, and food groups. The report also includes insights derived from Grab's internal database between 2019 and 2020. Here it goes. Malaysia food in delivery expenditure alone contributed to an estimated USD 817 million. Meals orders using delivery services increased to 13% and home cooked meals increased to 16% during the pandemic. And 46% of meals consumed in Malaysia are via dining out, delivery or takeaway during the pandemic, and 57% of consumers discover new restaurants via food delivery app. Okay, let's take a look at contactless payment. The COVID-19 pandemic has affected the lives of people and services, pushing them toward new technology. They are in step with the new development with our new normal of life. Contactless technology has been realized as a mechanism to reduce the risk of infection, accelerating the move to touchless behavior. Because of the spread of COVID-19, contactless payment technologies have become a more favored payment method in countries where these methods were not previously prevalent. Contactless and digital payment methods requires less physical interaction and users feel safer from COVID-19 infection, since they do not have to have physical contact with surfaces such as banknotes, coins, or even other people's hand. In developed countries, contactless payment is widely used as an option in the payment transaction. Meanwhile, in developing countries, contactless payment is new and rapidly emerging as an option in the payment transaction. Besides, contactless payment is one of the innovations in the payment transaction revolutions that has been introduced recently. The contactless trend in restaurants offers consumers new and exciting experiences, such as electronic kiosks that can detect the touch of a finger or object on the screen. McDonald's is one of the fast food restaurants that offer mobile payment systems in order to increase customer loyalty. The self-service technology effectively improves sales and customer experience and simplifies the ordering and payment process only through electronic kiosks. The government policies to promote a cashless society in the near future is consistent with the announcement of an e-wallet incentive worth 30 ringgit during the first phase, distributed to all Malaysians aged 18 and above, and as well as those with annual income less than 100,000 as part of the Malaysia Budget 2020, with an allocation of ringgit Malaysia 569 million for the second phase of the e-wallet incentive program, worth 50 ringgit, benefited 11.36 million Malaysians through the redemption of one of three different applications, namely Boost, GrabPay, and Touch and Go. The use of contactless payment as a whole can ensure that fast food restaurants' premises are safe workplace for both employees and consumers. Self-ordering kiosks. The recent COVID-19 pandemic has demanded dramatic changes in industries worldwide. Consumers are now spending exclusively with preference for outlets that offer specific mediums for them to order without having to engage in potentially dangerous face-to-face contacts. Reflections of germ prevention efforts, customers increasingly prefer to order their food via kiosks rather than from the cashier. Consumers' desire to avoid contagious illness is spreading up the adoption of kiosks even more. The harshly reality in many restaurants have been forced to switch to an exclusively takeout and delivery model almost overnight, operating under city and state mandates to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. Restaurant operators have laid off some of their dining room staff as a result and redeployed them. In order to preserve the efficiency of not just the kitchen but brand as a whole, they need an automated solutions. Kiosks are the answers for many. With customers entering their orders on the kiosk or interacting with the menu entirely on their phone via scannable QR code on the kiosk, the greatly reduced wait staff can attend to the more urgent tasks. Some restaurants have even created what we call a synthetic drive-thru using kiosks as a way to reduce foot traffic inside the store. By wheeling the device outside the restaurant, customers can place order outside and wait in their cars for the employee to bring their food once ready. In either scenario, there is a massive benefits to using kiosks. No one has to handle cash. The dirtiest thing in most restaurants, customers can pay by credit card or debit card at a terminal. However, at restaurants where customers likely to pay cash, there are kiosks available that can handle cash as well. Mobile order ahead. Mobile order ahead apps are becoming increasingly popular in quick service restaurants. These apps allow customers keep the line when arriving at the store. The availability and use of order ahead mobile application has become quite common in quick service restaurants business. Apps are available from restaurants including McDonald's, Starbucks, Zeus Coffee, and many others. While the functions provided vary from app to app, most allow users to order and pay for their food remotely. When arriving at the restaurant, the user is able to skip the line and pick up their pre-order, often at a special mobile order pickup location. The functionality of order ahead application varies from restaurant to restaurant. Some have built-in loyalty programs that allow customers to earn discounts and free items. And most of the apps are integrating GPS systems to allow customers to find the nearest restaurants locations. Most apps also allow users to reorder previous orders, and some allow users to set up favorite items for easy reordering. Virtually all apps support pay functions that manages the financial transactions as a part of ordering transaction through some also allow to pay at the restaurants. The order processing and fulfillment process also has some variation from app to app, but most follow a basic format. The users pick their restaurants and select their menu items. The customers can select schedule time for their order to be ready. Most applications have minimum lead time, but also allow the order to be scheduled further in the future. Minimum times are generally about 15 to 20 minutes, and most app allows scheduling a pickup an hour or more in the future. Once the order is placed and the financial transaction is processed and an order ticket is printed at store, some apps do not finalize the order until customers is at the store and clicks the I am here button. GPS tracking disables the buttons until the customers is at the store locations. This helps prevent accidental orders to the wrong store. Okay, next, my 2 cents advice. Digital technologies for food operators out there or any entrepreneur out there. Digital technologies as tools for service innovations has a pioneering role in the changing process that the food service sector will go through in the years to come after the COVID-19 pandemic. Accordingly, restaurants need to implement digital technologies in their working practices to enhance cleanliness level and social distancing. Restaurants need to demonstrate to their customer using social media and all their communication channels that integrating digital technologies can provide a higher level of safety and ensure social distancing. Managers have to reduce interactions among customers and workers using technologies. This in turn will reduce the perception of health risks since customers have developed a greater sensitivity to social distancing that persists even after pandemic period, impacting the choice of restaurants. However, despite the implementations of digital technologies providing several advantages for restaurants, these technology-mediated services presents also as many trials. Among them, the loss of employment and the increase in operating costs linked to technology investment could be considered the most relevant. Accordingly, the implementations of digital technology in restaurant could be seen as a long investment. All right, that's about it for my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Darian Low, for the fruitful sharing. I'd like to emphasize on how digitalization becomes the blessing, especially for the quick service restaurant industry, in terms of self-ordering kiosk, payment, and also the supply chain from the beginning until the end of the customers. So I would say that this is the perfect example of how digitalizations can be incorporated with the quick service industry, restaurant industry, so that they can not only survive but also see the revenue and also to strive in the restaurant industry that is totally different from what we have seen before pandemic. That was that Dr. Darian has highlighted that the people prefer to be in the restaurant with the family and have a meal in the restaurant, but the whole scenario has been changed, and also how digitalization becomes, and it interlinked all the process from the ordering of food until the customers receive their meal. So the whole process, how digitalizations becomes the blessing, is being emphasized by Dr. Darian. Thank you very much again for your fruitful sharing on this topic. And those who joined just now, I'd like to ask you uh, that I'd like to share with you that our today's topic is innovation, resilience, and managing uncertainties in the quick service restaurant industry. And if you have any question that you wish Dr. Darian to answer, who is our external speaker, you may post them in the chat box. I would like to highly um, uh, focus on this topic that if you have any question or anything, please feel free to post in the chat box. Then our next speaker is Dr. Yuen. He's from the Faculty of Business. Let us hear from Dr. Yuen's opinion on the relevant topic. Again, if you have any question that you wish Dr. Darian or Dr. Yuen to answer, please you may post them in the chat box. So let's welcome Dr. Yuen. Over to you, Dr. Yuen.
Thank you, Dr. Tariq. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Yuen from Faculty of Business, Multimedia University. So welcome to this short sharing session about how to actually create innovation resilience in quick service restaurant. So continue from Dr. Darian's discussion just now, one of the best way to help the quick service in restaurant to actually manage the innovation resilience is through the disability employment. Okay, so it's very important for the quick service restaurant to create an inclusive employment environment in order to overcome all the challenges of COVID-19 pandemic. So that in the past 2 years, I've conducted several studies on the disability employment. And what is the motivation for me to conduct all this disability employment study? They are because of 3 reasons. First reason is that most of the person with disability, they are the P40 groups in Malaysian society, and they are the groups that have the high tendency of losing the job. And in quick service restaurant industry, the employment of person with disability have not reached the 1%. Has not even reached the 1% quota. Okay, so less than 1%. It's only about 0.3%. So that this employment rate is far behind other countries in Asia. So for those persons with disability who have successfully entered the workforce, only 12.6% of them will continue to serve in the quick service restaurant after 2 years. Okay, so that this is actually the problem. Most of the persons with disability, they are eager to work. They are eager to serve the community. They actually hope to actually serve in the servicing industry. But the main problem is that majority of them are not able to retain in their workforce after 2 years. And the employment rate in the servicing industry for PWD is only 0.3%. So that this actually motivates me to carry out a few research in the past 3 years regarding this employment, disability employment. So that for today's session, I would like to share some of my important findings from my research. So the first important finding is that, most of the person with disability in Malaysia, they are eager to serve the community. They are eager to serve the society. They are eager to look for a job, a permanent job. Okay, so that just like what I mentioned just now, only 0.3% of the person with disability in Malaysia, they are able to find a permanent job. So that most of them have a very positive job hunting behavior. They are eagerly want to look for a permanent job. Okay, so but one of the main factors that actually that actually hinder the disability employment is that the health condition. Okay, so the person with disability, they are worried that their health condition may not allow them to serve the company with the full capacity. Okay, so that another important factor that influences the disability employment in Malaysia is about the family support. Okay, so before the person with disability they enter into the workforce, they actually want to seek for the family support. So for the person with disability with higher family support, they have more courage to look for a better job. Then, besides the family support, the workplace support is also very important. So that person with disability hope that there will be more assistive technology at the workplace to actually assist them to actually carry out the job, especially in the quick service restaurant. Okay, so that, and the last most important factor that affect the disability employment post COVID-19 pandemic is that the emotion. Okay, because there are some discrimination against the person with disability, so that it actually affect their emotion towards return to work after the COVID-19 pandemic. So these are the 5 factors that affect the disability employment. So this is actually one of the first important finding of my study in the past 3 years, from 2019 to 2022. So that, okay, the second important finding, okay, so that most of the person with disability, they are worried about their health condition. They are worried that they cannot perform the best at the workplace. So that their perceived health condition will actually affect their actual job involvement, especially in the servicing industry, such as the QSR industry. So that for those workers with disability who perceive their health as very good condition, they will have more intention to look for a job in the servicing industry. So the perceived health condition actually will affect the job involvement, will affect the employment in the servicing industry among the person with disability. Then the third important finding, okay, this is a very, very interesting finding. It compares among the male and female of the person with disability when they're hunting for jobs. Okay, so when we compare among the male and female, okay, we actually find out that the male person with disability, they are more eager to look for a job. Okay, they have more commitment to serve the society. Okay, while the female, they are less likely to look for a permanent job in the servicing industry because they are actually worried about their health condition, and also they are worried about the family members. Okay, so that this is actually a very, very important finding. When we want to compare among the male and female groups, we find out that the male, they have more commitment towards the finding a permanent job in the servicing industry, while the female, they are more worried about their health condition, and the female, they are more worried about the family member. Okay, so the male person with disability, they are more confident towards the workplace support. They believe that most of the company, they have the assistive technology to help the person with disability to perform their job successfully. So this is the important finding. So for this finding, we can conclude that males are more optimistic. Males are more optimistic towards the disability employment compared to female. Okay, so the female seems to have more concern about the health, still have more concern about the family member. Okay, so that then when we compare among the different age group, okay, we discover that, okay, those person with disability who age above 30 years old, they are very, very eager to find a job in the service industry. Okay, so that they have very positive emotion. Okay, and they think that their health condition is ready to find a job. Okay, so that for those age above 41 years old and above, okay, they want to look for a job to support their family. Okay, and they are very, very happy that okay, most of the workplace have the facility to actually help the person with disability to perform in their job. So this is a very, very important finding. Those people who age 30 years old and above, they want to eagerly find a permanent job. They want to return to the workplace as long as the country enter the transition period of COVID-19 and the pandemic. So that when we compare among the Bumiputra and the non-Bumiputra, we will find out that, okay, so that the Bumiputra, they are more worried about their health condition. Okay, so the Bumiputra, they hope to that the workplace can provide more support to help them to perform better in the servicing industry. While the non-Bumiputra, they want to find a job in order to serve the society in a better way, and they want to find a job to support their family. This is the important finding number 5. We compare among the Bumiputra and the non-Bumiputra person with disability. And the important finding number 6, we compare among the education level. We want to see whether the education level of the person with disability affect their intention to look for a permanent job in the servicing industry. And our finding shows that, okay, the secondary school graduate, they are more worried about their health condition. They hope that the workplace can provide more support for them to perform better in the company. While the university graduates, okay, they are less worried about the health condition. So that the university graduates, they tend to eagerly find a job to serve for the community and also to earn extra income to support the family. Okay, so when we compare the education level, we will find out that those persons with disability with higher education level, they are more committed towards the permanent job. They are more eager to return to work after the COVID-19 pandemic compared to those people with low education level. Then another important finding, we are actually compare among the different disability that they have. So for those workers who are suffering from physical disability, they are more committed to find a job. Okay, they are more committed to find a job because they believe that the workplace can provide a better facility to support them to perform better. But for those potential employees who are suffering from hearing and also the speech disability, okay, they are having some of the negative emotion. Okay, they are having some negative emotion. They are worried about the family members. Okay, so they need the support of the family members. So they have more courage to actually enter the workplace. So those potential employees with physical disability, they are more confident to serve in the servicing industry compared to those potential employees with hearing and the speech disability. So this is the important finding number 7. So for the important finding number 8, okay, we find out that, okay, so about 97% of the respondents that we surveyed, okay, we have actually surveyed more than 3,000 persons with disability, okay, so that about 97% of the people that we surveyed, they actually are low income earner. Okay, so that they only earn around 1,000 to 2,000 ringgit per month before the COVID-19. Okay, so before the COVID-19 pandemic, the respondent that we survey in this study, they are actually the low income earner. Okay, so for this low income earner or this B40 group, okay, they have very high intention to return to work after our country have entered into the transition period of COVID-19 pandemic, because they are eagerly look for permanent job in the quick service restaurant or in the servicing industry just to support the family member. An important finding number 9. Okay, so most of them, okay, most of 97% of the respondents that we surveyed, okay, out of the 3,000 respondents in this study, okay, they actually are low-level staff. Okay, they work in the public and private organization as a low-level staff with the income of 1,000 to 2,000 ringgit before the pandemic. Okay, so that they eagerly want to find a new job, permanent job, to return to the workplace after the COVID-19 pandemic in order to support the family. So that, okay, some of them, okay, have lost the job for more than 1 year. Okay, some of them, they have lost the job for more than 1 year due to the COVID-19. And they are very eager to find a job to support the family. And at the same time, okay, they are worried about their health condition. Okay, because some of them they have just recovered from the COVID-19. Okay, so they lost a job due to COVID-19, and they want to eagerly find a job to support the family. And at the same time, they are also worried about their health condition. Okay, whether there's any long-term effect of the COVID-19 and whether the long-term effect of COVID-19 will affect their current job or not. Okay, so that, okay, but they are very eager to look for a job. Okay, so for those of them, okay, who are just losing the job, okay, who are just losing a job for less than 3 months, they even have more intention to serve the community compared to those who have lost a job for more than 1 year. So this is an important finding. Okay, so the person with disability, they are very eager to find a job to serve the company, to serve the community and society. But for those people who have lost a job for more than 1 year, they are more concerned about the health condition, because some of them just recovered from the COVID-19. Okay, so that for those person with disability who just lost a job, okay, so their intention to serve the community will be even higher. So that, okay, so as what I said just now, okay, for those people who have absent from the workforce for at least 1 year, they want to eagerly find a job to support their family. And for those who are ready to return to work, they hope that the workplace can provide them some facility to help them to carry out their tasks successfully. And at the same time, they hope that there will be some medical compensation for them. Okay, for those of them who have just recovered from COVID-19, they hope that there will be some health compensation or some allowance to actually support them. So that this is actually the finding. So that then, okay, what are their expectations towards the company? Okay, so they are eager to work for the quick service industry. They are eager to work for the servicing industry. So that what are their expectations towards the company? So that this is actually a bit surprising result. Okay, so this important finding number 12 for this study is a bit surprising, because, okay, for most of the person with disability in Malaysia, okay, so the salary is not a very important factor. Okay, in order to encourage them to return to work after the COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, so salary is not the very important factor. Okay, so if you see this ranking, okay, salary only rank as important factor number 4. Okay, so that career advancement is the most important factor. So that most of the person with disability in Malaysia, they want to find a job because finding a permanent job symbolize the recognition. Okay, symbolize the recognition from the society. Okay, so that they hope to find a permanent job that can provide some opportunity for the career advancement. So the career advancement, whether they have the opportunity to learn new knowledge, to interact with people, this is their main concern, okay, when they want to find a permanent job. Then the second important concern is actually the compensation. So that most of the person with disability, okay, they need to take the public transport, okay, in order to go for work. So that they hope that the company can provide some compensation for the transportation or for the medical support, okay, in order to encourage them to return to work. Then the third most important factor that will encourage a person with disability is that the intrinsic reward. Okay, so that as I mentioned just now, okay, the main concern of person with disability is that they hope to get the support. They hope to get the support from the family. They hope to get the support from the company. They hope to get the support from the colleagues and also the employer. So that the intrinsic reward is very, very important. Okay, they hope to get the recognition, the career advancement and opportunity. Okay, so that the career advancement opportunity and also the recognition are far, far more important compared to the salary. When we want to encourage more persons with disability to serve in the servicing industry. Okay, so we can see that, okay, salary is not the important factor. The more important factor for the person with disability is that they hope to get the recognition from the society. They hope to get more opportunity to advance their career, to learn new knowledge, to learn new skill. So that, okay, so that most of the person with disability, they hope to work in a low-risk environment. They hope to work in a low-risk environment, which are disability-friendly. Okay, so this is actually the expectation for the company. Okay, so that when they return to work, they hope that the company can provide more career advancement opportunity. They hope that the company can provide them more compensation for the transportation or the medical compensation or the compensation for the assistive technology that they use to actually accomplish their tasks. And they hope to have more intrinsic reward, more recognition from the industry over their achievement. All these factors are far, far more important than the salary. Okay, and they hope to have work in a low-risk environment. We have a lot of facilities and support to help them to carry out their tasks successfully. Okay, so most of the person with disability, they actually think that they themselves is an innovator. Okay, so out of the 3,000 respondents that we surveyed, okay, we are actually quite surprised to find out that most of the person with disability, they think that they themselves is an innovator. They think that they themselves have a lot of creative idea, creative solution that they can contribute towards the product innovation, service innovation, marketing innovation, and also the production innovation in the servicing industry. Okay, so even though they are facing some physical impairment, but they think that their brain still can function very well. They have a lot of ideas, they have a lot of creative solutions that they can contribute to the servicing industry towards the better performance of the industry. So that this is actually the suggestion. Okay, so that based on this finding, okay, we actually sincerely hope that in future, the quick service restaurant in Malaysia, they can recruit more employees with disability to become their workers. Okay, so because the employee with disability, they are the innovator. They have a lot of creative idea. They have a lot of creative solution that can contribute better towards the development, future development of the quick service restaurant. So that, okay, so in order to encourage more persons with disability to return to the workforce post COVID-19 pandemic, okay, so that we need to have more family support. So for person with disability, just like what we find from our finding, salary is not the most important factor. The most important factor is a supporting environment. A supporting environment, okay, that can provide them more opportunity to contribute their idea. They can provide them more opportunity to learn new knowledge. Okay, so that what the person with disability they need is actually a supporting environment. So when we talk about the support, okay, there are two most important support that they need. First one is actually the family support. Second one is actually the organizational support. Okay, so that person with disability, okay, they care so much about their family member. As our finding shows just now, most of them want to find a permanent job because they think that their family need them. Okay, so they want to find a permanent job to support the family. And they hope that they can get the support from the family in order to work full-time in the servicing industry. So the family support is very important. And the second most important support is actually the organizational support. Okay, so the person with disability, they need the assistive technology. They need the transportation, okay, in order to carry out their tasks. So the support from the company, from the servicing industry is very important. And the third important suggestion, in order to encourage more persons with disability to return to the workforce after COVID-19 pandemic, is that maybe the company can provide, okay, more medical support, more medical allowance and compensation to actually allow the person with disability to do a regular medical checkup. Okay, because as I told you just now, our finding shows that a lot of our respondents actually are suffering from the COVID-19. They have just recovered from COVID-19. Okay, so in order to avoid any long-term effect that will affect their job performance, so that we actually strongly suggest that the company can actually provide more medical checkup allowance, okay, to actually allow the person with disability to do a regular medical checkup. Okay, and also, okay, we also need to provide a listening ear to the person with disability to actually elevate their negative emotion, so that they have more courage to actually commit to the society. They have more commitment to actually find a permanent job, so that they can serve the society in a better way. So that this is actually our findings for the disability employment in servicing industry. Okay, so this is the end of my short sharing session. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Yuen, for your interesting sharing. Also, I would say that the findings are really interesting. That how disability, the individuals with the disability can be contributed to the quick service restaurant industry. And also another interesting finding I would like to highlight that the look for family support and also the working environment, which can be considered as intrinsic reward rather than the salary or the income that they get from their services. That's very interesting, pretty much interesting. So I'd like to welcome dear audience to ask any question that you have for our both external and internal speaker. Please feel free to ask question in the comment box or in the chat box. I'd like to, I'd be happy to entertain your question. business. That's very interesting, pretty much interesting. So I said that we don't have any question so far. However, I have a few questions to ask our both speakers, Dr. Darian and also Dr. Yuen. So I'd like to ask question to Dr. Darian first. Dr. Darian, in your opinion, what strategy to follow in managing uncertainties in the QSR industry? As we know that uh, almost all the industry has been affected by COVID-19, and they have seen these uncertainties when they're trying to manage or operate their businesses. So, what would be your strategy in your opinion?
Okay, thank you, Dr. Tariq, for this question. Apart from the innovation strategies which has been discussed earlier, there are some other strategies which QSR can adopt to stay afloat in the difficult COVID-19 environment, which include number one, targeting loyal customers, right? Engaging with loyal customers amid the pandemic is one of the best ways restaurant operators can drive business and remain viable. Collecting customers' emails and phone numbers from takeout and delivery orders allow restaurants operators to reconnect with customers and keep them updated on restaurant specials and promotions to help to drive in more business. And most importantly, communicate regularly on the safety precautions that the restaurant is taking to keep the diners safe. This will ultimately increase customers' confidence in dining in or ordering or takeout, and it actually helps to boost repeat customers and sales. And number two, probably reducing costs. Okay, restaurant operators can turn to technology to help to determine where and how to cut costs, which is crucial in this environment of uncertainty. Restaurant operators can use cloud-based accounting platforms for cost control and financial monitoring. These platforms connect into bank account and credit card transactions to help restaurant operators to track expenses and cash flow. The clear picture of financial performance will help restaurants operators to better inform on the restaurant business strategy. And last is about scheduling strategically. To reduce these costs, we need to analyze customers' demand and adjust scheduling appropriately for off-peak hours. Adjusting scheduling to save even 1 hour of staff time can save a restaurant thousands of dollars in wages in each month. So basically, these are the three additional item that actually we could adopt during these difficult times of COVID-19 environment.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Darian, for your answer. My second question is, as we see, you have discussed about social innovation, financial innovation, and also other types of innovation. Could you please share more about social innovation?
Okay, for these questions, I'd like to address it in the perspective of QSR. Okay, the practice of social innovation in restaurants has the role of uniting employees from different backgrounds, cultures, and thinking to align them around common business-specific objectives, to educate and to improve them continuously through trainings. To create value, restaurant operators can integrate and use digital learning ecosystems, providing employees with new platforms meant to access the different type of content, data, and learning development applications that are needed in order to improve knowledge in the workplace and to ensure better connection, interaction, and teamwork. During the COVID-19 pandemic, restaurant hygiene and cleanliness and food and staff safety measures became important points in the resilience plan. In the restaurant sector, resilience efforts are meant to protect the health of those who consume food, but also those who produce and deliver it, which is the employees. Prioritizing employees' well-being in restaurants is another major coordinate of social innovations implemented during the COVID-19 pandemic, and the specific procedures identified, such as flexibility in organizing work exchanges and establishing day off, employees training on the use of digital technologies designed to facilitate the relationship with customers and collaboration in work teams, initiating open discussions with managers and co-workers to help reduce psychological stress among employees, encourage leisure activities, increase employees' attention to healthy eating, and lastly, reducing the weekly working time in order to reduce the overload during this period. So that's about it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Darian, for your answer. Now I have a couple of questions for Dr. Yuen. Dr. Yuen, it's an interesting findings that we have known about the person with disability and uh, uh, the findings that share with us. We get to know so many knowledge on the thing. However, I have a question on. Can you please elaborate more on how family affects employment and job retention? The role of family.
Okay, so that one of the very, very effective way for the person with disability, the family members, okay, to provide support to the person with disability is that through the social media. Okay, so that more family support group to be created through the social media, so that the person with disability, they can get more support from the family member. Okay, so that they have more courage, more better courage and better more prepared to find a permanent job in the job market. So social media is actually proven to be the most effective way to actually provide family support towards the family member, so that social media actually encourage the immediate concern and immediate response towards the concern of the person with disability. Okay, so just in case there are some feelings that they are shy and to voice out, they can actually write down the feeling on the social media, so that the family can know how they feel, so that the family can actually provide support to the person with disability in order to help them to have more courage, more commitment to find a permanent job in the servicing industry.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Yuan. Get to know more on this issue. Then my second question is how we can alleviate negative emotion.
Okay, is by create a social safety net. Okay, social safety net is beneath the commitment from the non-profit organization, and also from the government government agency. So the government agency should work together with the NGO to create a social safety net, so that they should actually create more hotline to actually provide support, to actually should work together with the industry to create more job opportunity to the person with disability, so that a social safety net will help to elevate the negative emotion among the person with disability in order to find a better job for them to contribute better into the society.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Yuan. We are near to the end of this Insights Humanizing Innovation session. Once again, if you have any question, please post in the comment box. I'd be I'd really be happy to entertain your question. If you have any question to Dr. Darian or Dr. Peter Yuan. So far, I see there is no question from the chat box. Okay, so before we end this Insights Humanizing Innovation session, I'd like to thank our speakers, both external speaker, Dr. Darian Low, and also our internal speaker, Dr. Yuen, the organizer of this seminar, the Industrial Collaborations and Engagement Center, ICEC, under the Research Industrial Collaboration and Engagement, RICE Division, co-organized by the Faculty of Business, FOB, Malacca Campus, MME Studio Strategic Marketing Department under Strategic Marketing, Admission and Recruitment Division, and the technical support team for making this insightful seminar conducted smoothly, and also not but least the audience who is here to support us, our humanizing innovation session. And every one of us, take care and stay safe. Have a nice day. See you again. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Wonder how fast intelligent machines run on 5G? At MMU, you'll find the answer. Wonder how creative content and online businesses are mastered? At MMU, you'll find the answer. Wonder how cybersecurity and law function? At MMU, you'll find the answer. Find out all these and many more at Multimedia University, because MMU is you, leading the digital future. Visit mmu.edu.my.